So you have all those toxins hanging inside of you. The best way to prevent your body from getting those toxins stuck inside of you is by trying to flush them out. Our dopamine, which is our happiness hormone, is produced in our gut. 90% of our dopamine is produced in our gut, not in our brain. So when you have your gut working as it should, you have less stress levels because you have more of the happiness hormones. That you sleep better, you wake up more energized, you eat on the right times of the day, respect your biological clock. So it helps the blood to come back to your heart.
Welcome to Normalize The Conversation. I'm your host, Francesca Regeter, and today I'm joined by Rebecca Faria, a Brazilian wellness expert, founder of Detox by Rebecca, and a pioneer in bringing Brazilian lymphatic drainage to the US. In this episode, Rebecca uncovers the connection between the lymphatic system and mental clarity, explaining how detoxing your body can reduce brain fog, improve emotional regulation, and support overall mental well-being. Rebecca, thank you so much for joining me today. I am very excited for our conversation. Before we begin, I just want to check in. How are you really?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I am really excited for this conversation. I went and I got a massage at Detox by Rebecca recently because I was experiencing so much brain fog. I could not focus. And I am so the person that can hyper focus in and get things accomplished. And I was just feeling so drained in any way, shape, and form. I heard about lymphatic massage, heard about your work, your method, decided to go and get it. And wow, within 2 days, I was suddenly able to be productive again. It was amazing.
I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, people usually think the lymphatic is only for you to look more skinny or slimmer. But actually, the main reason why I like to get lymphatic is because of my mental clarity. When we are able to get rid of toxins and move the blood towards the brain, which lymphatic massage helps you to do, we do get more mental clarity.
Yes, we do. It's so amazing. So the lymphatic system, that is what removes the toxins?
Yeah, we have this system that we call lymphatic system, which works regardless of what you do. You can get massages or not, it's going to work by itself. The problem is because of our lifestyle, including levels of anxiety, lack of sleep, processed food, lack of water intake, this system can get sluggish. And when it gets sluggish, the body is not able to get rid of toxins the same way. It's almost like if the lymphatic system was the garbage of the body. If this garbage gets full, you have nowhere to put the trash of your house. And your house is your body. So you have all those toxins hanging inside of you. And when you get a lymphatic massage, we open these points, which we call lymph nodes, which are like the drains of the body. And with our hands, we push this lymphatic fluid, which is full of those toxins, towards the drains. And that's how the body gets rid of it. You pee it out, basically. And that's also why you have more mental clarity, because you have less toxins inside of you.
That makes so much sense. Okay, so my lack of sleep, anything of eating, my lack of water, maybe to myself. But it was so easy. I remember doing the massage. She kept saying over and over again, like, my goal is to make you pee. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Getting those toxins out of our body. I mean, one big thing all those toxins can lead to, of course, the anxiety, the depression, the brain fog, but also a lot of toxins are linked to Alzheimer's. So this is a great preventative measure as well.
Yeah, for sure. It prevents you from having a lot of conditions and diseases. Also because the lymphatic system is a part of the immune system. So when you get your lymphatic system stronger, you're actually getting your white blood cells stronger, which are like the soldiers of the body. So that way your body can attack whatever tries to come to you. So my clients who have been coming for a while, they say that they don't get sick anymore as often as before.
But we're exposed to toxins everywhere. Right, Tanya? I'm just like, what we eat, it stays with all our bodies, right? Like our lotions, moisturizers, all of it really are impacting us. So making sure that we're paying attention is so important, but also having these tools. And one thing that I really appreciated too was like you have that tea there as well. That's a great thing you can do at home. Right? Even on your Instagram page, you have like the way you can like rub on your stomach right before bed. You have all these tools you can actually use because I mean, so many of us think, oh, if I take all the right vitamins, then I won't get sick, which can be true. But also a lot of times there's different minerals in these things that we're taking if we're not getting those very good organic ones that can be very expensive as well. So knowing that there's other tools that we can be using is so important.
Yeah, lymphatic care is not only related to massage. We can do like daily habits every day at home. And actually, those are the things that will help you the most. Because it's almost impossible to avoid the toxins from like the environment that we live in. Unless we are able to go back 200 years ago and live with our great grandparents in a farm with no internet, no toxins, which is like impossible. So the best way to prevent your body from getting those toxins stuck inside of you is by trying to flush them out, considering that we are exposed to them regardless. And by doing things like scraping your tongue every day in the morning, drinking water before having breakfast, drink lymphatic teas or detox teas, which are not those teas that will make you poop, are only like teas good for you with good herbs for you, sleeping early, waking up early, respecting your biological clock, having avoiding toxic relationships, which can harm the way our hormones behave, which can affect our mental health. All of those things are a part of lymphatic care because you are helping your body to get stronger and you are avoiding toxins to come to you. Like protect your mental health, getting rid of bacteria that you can have on your tongue. All of those things are a part of lymphatic care that has nothing to do with massages.
That was really interesting to me when I saw that on your page, the tongue scraper, because I never thought about that before and how the toxin buildup can be on our tongues and just something so simple in the morning, an extra 30 seconds to your routine can make such a difference.
Yeah, because when we sleep, the liver is the organ responsible for detoxing the body. And when we wake up full of bacteria in our tongue, in our skin. That's why sometimes I like to take a shower in the morning. And we have to try to remove those toxins so the body doesn't reabsorb them. So I scrape my tongue, I get rid of all those bacteria. Then I like to drink water to hydrate my body, to get my metabolism going. Then I have the lymphatic tea. And only after it all, which takes 2 minutes, I have my breakfast. But if you do it consistently every day, it makes a difference. Because imagine if you wake up and you don't scrape your tongue, you are pushing back all the bacteria your body is trying to detox.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. It's 2 minutes, like you said. It's so simple, so easy. And it's something that's so important, but this is not something that is commonly talked about. How, I mean, our livers, right? There's just, I don't know, I think there's a lot of conversation when it comes to our mental health and physical health on the importance of maybe like sleep, of hydration, of vitamins, of movement, all these different pieces, but no one's really talking about different systems within your body and how different tools can help regulate them. I mean, the lymphatic drainage system is connected to the nervous system regulation, right? There's so many things that are connected, but it's that mind-body connection that we're not talking about.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is because lymphatic drainage, like massage or practice, is not big in the US yet. Where I'm from in Brazil, lymphatic drainage is a part of our culture. So we grow up around it. We learn it from like young age by seeing our grandparents getting it done, our parents, sister, friends, everybody gets it done all the time. And everybody lives the lifestyle of trying to be holistically healthy. But here in the United States, like at least in LA, when I came, there was no lymphatic massage place or lymphatic spa. Now it's finally getting more popular. So I think we are kind of late on learning these practices.
Yeah, in the US, it seems to be very medical model oriented, which can be so great in so many ways. It really can be. we don't really focus a lot on prevention. We don't really focus a lot on, honestly, even education, not a lot on the holistic aspect. And it's very frustrating because we see how many people could benefit. I mean, I saw the statistic one time where the average human takes in like one credit card of microplastics a year. Whereas all these toxins and plastics we're ingesting, taking into our body, we need tools that are helping to alleviate some of these toxins instead of waiting till we're sick later on to then try to be reactive.
Yeah, United States is not good when it comes to prevention, and that's why we see the most powerful country in the world, which is here, most rich, most everything, but it's still with the highest levels of heart attacks, of diabetes, of cancer. And then you wonder why we have so many resources, we have so much money to invest in technology, why we are more sick than other countries. And I believe it's because we don't work on prevention. We just worry about problems after they happen when it comes to health.
Absolutely. I mean, we see this with mental health all the time, right? How easy would it have been to have some education? I mean, we have like our physical education course. How hard would it be to put a little bit of health and mental wellness in there, really give people the tools that they need? But instead, these are not the conversations that we're having, and it's so heartbreaking. But then it makes me so excited when I go online and I see accounts like yours, conversations like this, where we're constantly talking about it because we need to be talking about it. But going back to the lymphatic system, in addition to that mental health component that we're involved, what are other, it is no physical health that the lymphatic system works with as well?
It makes you less bloated because this water retention, as I said, is full of bacteria and toxins and everything. When we flush it out, we feel smaller. And that's why people love lymphatic drainage, even though it's not the main reason why you should get lymphatic drainage. Besides it all, it makes you feel more energized because you have less toxins in you. So you leave your appointment feeling relaxed, energized, smaller, you have more mental clarity, as I said. Your digestive system works better because we have so many lymph nodes, which are the drains in our digestive system, and we work on top of all of them to try to flush out anything that could be stuck in there. And you feel like a very good well-being feeling, after finishing a lymphatic drainage massage, and also after learning about lymphatic drainage, so you can do your own lymphatic care at home, which in my opinion is the most important thing to do.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and like that brain connection's a big thing too, right? So when you're looking at a lot of inflammation in your gut, healthier digestion. You feel lighter as well. And I know when I feel lighter, like you said, more. If I go to the gym to work out, I have a bit more in me to want to run a little bit longer instead of feeling so heavy and weighed down, which then translates when I'm trying to get work done, when I'm feeling really just heavy weighed down, when I'm feeling really bloated, I don't work as productively or as well as I can. When I'm feeling lighter, more energized, I don't feel sluggish. I just don't feel sluggish. I feel like I have the ability to be sitting up. I don't feel like I need to be laying down to find comfort.
Yeah, because imagine that your body is a street full of cars. Each car is a system that you have inside of you. If you have water stuck between those systems, the cars cannot move around how they should, and that's why you feel sluggish.
I love that.
Yeah, it sounds like a street full of cars and traffic. And then when you flush out those toxins and that water retention, you have no cars and you can walk around, you can drive around free.
Not a great metaphor. I mean, yeah. I recently moved to LA like 2 months ago. I've learned traffic here. Not afraid. Drive at night. Amazing. During the day, can't move anywhere. That's what I just thought of when you said that. But it's so important that we're paying attention to how our bodies are feeling. And this is one really amazing tool. Another thing that it does is it helps with the cortisol and stress hormones, which is huge.
Yeah, for sure. Our dopamine, which is our happiness hormone, is produced in our gut. 90% of our dopamine is produced in our gut, not in our brain. So when you have your gut working as it should, you have less stress levels because you have more of the happiness hormones. On top of that, of course, everything's connected. You sleep better, you wake up more energized, you eat on the right times of the day, respect your biological clock. So once you start caring about yourself more, you will do different practices that will make a whole combination that will make you feel so much better. But for sure, one of them needs to be lymphatic care.
It really does. Like I said, I did this maybe like 2-ish weeks ago now. And I had no idea about it going in. I had no idea what the lymphatic system was to begin with. And I was just, again, just not able to focus, just not feeling very. A doctor had mentioned it to me when I went to the urgent care. And then my dad's girlfriend mentioned it to me as well. She's like, maybe this is something you should check out. And when I went in, I had no idea what to expect. I was actually very nervous. And it was amazing. She also was explaining a lot of it as she was doing it. So I felt like I knew what was happening. And it wasn't just the massage on my body. It was also she like massaged my scalp a bit. There was cupping. There was that sauna piece at the end. There were so many different aspects that really helped. And I guess kind of go back to you said, there's all these different tools we could be using. I realized how many different ways we could actually be supporting our lymphatic system.
Yeah, I try to come up with a methodology that has as much as I could put in 1 hour and 20 minutes, which is usually the time we take to do the whole treatment, because I feel like sometimes you don't have that much motivation, but you have muscle pain, but you have knots in your back. That's why we use cupping. Or you have emotions stuck inside of you. That's why we use cupping, which is a part of Chinese medicine. If you don't have muscle pain, you might have bad blood flow. So we use the suction machine. If you don't have any of these, but you're not able to sweat out the toxins, we have the sauna at the end. So regardless of what problem you have, I feel like these methodologies that I came up with can solve most of problems that people have.
Yeah, it's amazing. You really covered all the bases.
Thank you.
So one thing you said before a couple of times was honoring your biological clock. So for those listening who don't know what that means, how can someone begin to honor their biological clock?
I read a book. The name is Change Your Schedule, Change Your Life. And that book, I recommend it to everybody, that book, because it explains how inside of us we have those systems that need to follow biological clock, which is like you have a time to digest food, you have a time to wake up, to go to bed, and your body needs to follow that clock to do what you have to do at those moments. And if you think about it, when you travel, we usually have jet lag and you cannot go to the bathroom, you cannot sleep well. That means that your biological clock is confused because it doesn't know what time is it. And some people have like a chronic jet lag, even when they're not traveling, which is when the body feels confused and doesn't know when it's time to do the functions we have to do inside of us. And that's when you're always tired, you don't sleep well, you gain weight because your body doesn't have a time to digest food, to metabolize food, to give you energy, to rest, to detox. We need to respect this clock in order to be able to feel good. And it needs to be respected by the sun. That's how we know. That's how inside of you we know. That's how the plants know, the dogs know, the animals know. And we have to wake up, look towards the sun, let your brain know it's daytime. When it's time to sleep, you have to avoid TV, cell phone, bright light, so your brain doesn't think it's the sun and you can go to bed. And by telling your brain it's daytime at like 6, 7, 8 a.m., it's nighttime at 7, 8 p.m., you will be able to respect your biological clock. If you think about it nowadays, we have so many people who wake up, go to the office, spend all day long in the office, no sunlight. The brain feels confused. Then you go home, you don't have time to sleep. You are on your computer, you keep working. How your brain will know when it's daytime or when it's nighttime? And that's when you have the internal jet lag. And that's when your biological clock gets all confused.
That is so important and so true. Something I've been doing recently is since I moved to LA, I did not put a TV in my bedroom, and my phone charger is not in my bedroom. My phone does not come into the bedroom. My TV does not. Keeping those places separate, because that was a big thing for me, is I was all night on a screen, not getting any sleep. And prior to doing that, I flew across the country in a few days from Florida to California on red eyes. So I never knew the time zone I was in. I was never sleeping, taking care of myself. And my body was really, really paying for it. And it wasn't until I learned the importance of the sunlight and making sure when I was traveling, I was coming into LA and it was really bright outside, not to close the windows, right? To let myself see the daytime, go to sleep with the darkness of LA, trying to adjust my time. So 3-hour time difference is a lot, but adjust it to where I was so that my body could just digest, because I was getting so bloated, so sick constantly, did not have any energy, paying attention to how giving my body some kind of cue on when it is time to be awake, when it's time to be asleep was so important, because my mind and body were very disconnected from where I was in time, which didn't make sense at that point because I was between 2 time zones.
Oh yeah, it's horrible feeling this way. I think all of us at some point in life, we felt this way, and we know how confused it feels inside of us. Like we're not able to think straight. We're not able to work, to sleep. Everything just feels like foggy. It's a horrible feeling, and you can fix this by exposing yourself to the sun at the right times of the day, like our great parents would do before. They would wake up with the sun, they will go to bed with the sun. And I assure you, they didn't have lymphatic problems or like depression, anxiety like we do nowadays.
There's so many things that we can do that are free and easy that we don't even realize it, that are actually accessible to us. So in addition to the massage, you mentioned the biological clock, the sunlight, you mentioned the tongue steeping, the tea. What are other things that people can do on a kind of daily basis to support their lymphatic system?
Going for walks. As we walk, our muscles move in a way that will move the lymphatic flow, which is kind of the same thing we try to do when we give somebody a lymphatic massage. With our hands, we try to push the water, but you can do it by yourself by moving your muscles, because the muscles will be pumping the water towards the trans. So walking is one of the best ways to move your lymphatic flow. Sleeping early, waking up early, tongue scraping. What else? Put your legs up against the wall, because that way you're going to bring back the blood to your heart. And the more blood flow you have, the more lymphatic flow you have. So every time you do things like sauna, cold plunge, you are improving your blood flow, which is also improving your lymphatic flow. Avoiding toxic relationships, as I said, because of the dopamine in our gut. You don't want to stress your gut. You don't want to stress the lymph nodes around your gut. So avoid toxic relationships, avoid processed food, again, because you don't want to stress your gut. You can use compression socks. What compression socks do? They improve your blood flow on your legs, so it helps the blood to come back to your heart. Massages in general are also very helpful. And yeah, try to live like a less stressful life. Hydrate yourself. The more water you drink, the more water with your body is able to flush out. Try to drink teas, herbs, natural foods. The more contact with the nature we have, the better your lymphatic system will feel, because that's how we evolved as human beings, being the nature. So like just by going outside and go for a walk in a park is much more helpful than you can think.
It really is. I mean, these are all such amazing tools that we can adapt into our life so easily. I try to make it a point every day to go for a 3-mile walk outside. Just getting outside that helps me get out of my head, helps reduce that stress, helps me feel much better, and just lets me disconnect and have an excuse not to get work done for a little bit, which is always nice.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate you making the time to share all of this with us, share these tools. As we're wrapping up, for people who are listening who want to learn more about you and your methodology, how can they connect?
My Instagram is Detox by Rebecca. I also have an YouTube that I need to post more, but I have nice videos there. And TikTok, everything is Detox by Rebecca. My website, also Detox by Rebecca. I try to answer as many people as I can. So if you have any question, you can DM me, and I'll do my best to get back to you.
You are amazing. Can you leave our audience with one last piece of advice?
Follow your heart. Nothing I really believe, because I believe in energy, and I believe that our heart is our energy and what God wants for us, what the universe wants for us. So follow your heart and everything will flow.
Thank you so much for listening to Normalize the Conversation. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. This podcast is an initiative of Inspiring My Generation, focusing on normalizing the conversation, bringing education and awareness to the forefront, and amplifying global voices to spark change and hope. Inspiring My Generation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization on a mission towards suicide prevention through awareness, conversation, education, and support. Connect with us on Instagram at Inspiring My Generation and visit our website, inspiringmygeneration.org, to learn more about our work and how you can make a difference.